The journey of parenthood is full of adventure that is marked by affection, challenges, and of course the joy of seeing your child grow and flourish. But have you imagined raising a child in a silent world? Spoken language is the greatest communication barrier in a silent world. If you have your sense of hearing intact, you get to listen to information from any source as long as you understand the language. But for those with impaired hearing, they have to use sign language in their communication. According to World Health Organization (WHO), over 1.5 billion people are affected by hearing loss. Of them, nearly 1 out of 3 need hearing care. 80% live in low and middle income countries. However, for the deaf mothers going to deliver in health facilities largely operated by those who can speak, often face unique challenges during pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum. The challenges often stem from communication barriers with healthcare providers, lack of access to appropriate information, and potential misunderstandings regarding the needs. Judy Kihumba, a sign language interpreter, is one of the leading figures committed to promoting health services for deaf mothers in the country. We meet Judy in a session with a number of deaf mothers as she empowers them in the parenting journey.
In 2018, I had very many losses, and one of them is I lost a pregnancy that was really hard on me because I lost it at a time I had just, I lost my dad and lost the pregnancy, and it really took a toll on me. And through this, I never knew I would conceive again, but in 2019, I gave birth to my beautiful girl, Melissa. And when I gave birth, I went through postpartum depression. Me and my husband never knew about postpartum depression. I had not even heard about it. You know, the way, because it's not something that interests you, you never know about it. And through that journey, that's when I realized, of course, because my friends would still come to visit me and how I would behave around them made me think, who ever takes care of the deaf people? Who thinks about them if they go through what I'm going through? If me, I can express myself. I say today, I don't want to talk to anyone today. I feel like my head is not mine. I am not able to sleep. Other times I sleep and I forget I have a baby. All those many emotional journey that I was going through. Who thinks about the deaf people? Who talks to them? And if me going to the internet and looking for information was really hard for me because some I could not understand, I thought about the deaf people.
Judy tells us of her delivery journey, having no clue on what happens in a delivery room, walking with a deaf mother to a delivery room and seeing the struggles they go through opened her eyes in a profound way and gave her a reason to keep on raising her voice for their sake.
One of the greatest challenges is communication, because especially if a mom is giving birth through through normal delivery, you'll find that when the doctor tells them, the doctor wants to tell them, push or stop pushing or just to communicate with them, it becomes very hard. Sometimes they do the opposite of what they have been told to do because they are reading the facial expression of the doctor, which sometimes doesn't match with what the doctor is saying. So the greatest challenge has been the communication part. And through this, I gave myself to be working with deaf women, and especially the maternal journey.
Judy, who is a wife and a mother of 2 children, is the founder of Talking Hands, Listening Eyes on Postpartum Depression, GLEP. The initiative aims to support deaf mothers by acting as a bridge between them and health workers, thus enabling them to benefit from better medical care.
Our vision is to see deaf mothers raise their children globally, not only here in Kenya, globally, in an environment that they're able to take control of their lives and also for the lives of their children.
With increased cases of gender-based violence in the country, Judy hopes to open a counseling center and a rescue center, especially for the deaf, since the majority also face GBV.
We are in the process of creating a call center for the deaf people, and this will be both video and SMSs. And I am looking forward to that day.
Catherine Kenya talks about her experiences as a new mother, raising a child in a silent world. Amidst the challenges she has encountered living as a deaf mother, her daughter keeps her going.
When I was pregnant, I didn't have a lot of stress until when I went to the hospital to give birth. Then the doctor would write to me and would tell me what to do. And the doctor had an attitude towards me because he looked like he was in a hurry to leave me. But I wish there was an interpreter. It would have helped me, and especially how the deaf communicate. It would have been easier to sign. And also, even to take care of me, many deaf people out there have really many challenges, especially those who are pregnant, and more so when they go to the hospital, especially hospitals that do not have interpreters. It's very hard. Even the day I went to give birth, the doctor would tell me, wait, not now. And it was really because Judy has been there for us and she has really motivated us.
In effort to ease the communication challenges between the mother and the child, Judy has come up with a baby monitor innovation that is proven to be beneficial to the mother to understand some instincts, such as when the baby is crying. The baby monitor also serves as a maternity trigger, which serves also as a communication pathway between the doctor and the deaf mother.
I had a friend who the neighbors, anytime the baby would cry, because the neighbors didn't know how to wake her up, they would throw stones on top of her rooftop, and it really affected the baby. And through that, I asked myself, is there a way we can communicate to this mom that something that can alert her if the baby has woken up, or the baby is awake, or the baby is crying, so she doesn't have to wait for the neighbors to call, or because the baby was really affected mentally. And through that, an idea came. I drew this in a paper because I didn't have a tech person who would help me, who would guide me. So I got this idea of having a baby monitor that is really focusing on deaf people only. We have very many monitors, but this is purely for deaf women. It's in three components. There is an app which will be on a phone, and there is this receiver, and there is this wristband which acts as the watch, a smart watch for the deaf mothers. So what happens if the baby cries, let me put it on. If the baby cries, this receiver, this handset, which is a smartwatch, vibrates. Because it vibrates and lights the light like that. So yes, this innovation is in a very, very fast prototype, so we are looking forward to develop it further.
Most of the deaf women lack access to healthcare information that leaves them out of essential care that they should seek. This has resulted to communication barrier in hospitals, especially during giving birth or taking the children to hospital, as most of the healthcare workers, especially midwives, lack deaf communication skills. For deaf women, this can mean longer hospital stays and more complex postnatal needs in both the hospital and community environment during pregnancy and birth. This has, however, sadly led to challenges such as misdiagnosis.
So the issue of misdiagnosis is quite possible, and especially when you're asking questions to do with an infection, for instance. So it is very easy to misdiagnose, but when we go on to do the testing of her problem, because we go through physical examination, after history taking, then taking through laboratory work and all, we will still be able to diagnose.
According to Jane Omogo from National Council for Persons with Disability and CPWD, health workers should have at least basic sign language skills to close the communication gap between them and the deaf mothers. To mitigate this, the council has rolled out a program to train various health workers.
Before we rolled out the program, there used to be very high mortality rate for the mothers. Because what you need to understand about deafness, it's invisible, it's an invisible disability. So you can't just look at a person and assume that this person has a disability. The only way that is that you'll be trying to talk to that person, and then the person will be talking back to you. And there you may think that either the person is not feeling well, the person is ignoring you, or other factors, or the person doesn't know you, that's why they don't want to talk to you. So by the time you realize they are deaf, you find that there might be a lot of challenges. When you come to mothers, especially when they are delivering, that is usually a very, very distressing situation. So you may find that mother who is having a baby, the fact that they are in pain, they may not be able even to communicate, and the nurse may not be able to understand that this person actually cannot talk. And since most of the times the nurses are overworked, you find that they may not be able to respond appropriately. They may not be able to ask whether the person hears.
And as Kenya strives for an inclusive society where everyone is taken care of irrespective of the unique needs, the inclusive health needs of the deaf community should be incorporated not just in maternal health care, but in all healthcare needs to ensure that the universal health coverage policy of access to healthcare services for all is achieved.
Deaf women are mothers like any other mother, and if the normal, I would say in quotes, the normal women or the able-bodied women go through struggles of motherhood, the deaf women go through it double or triple because of communication barriers. So if each one of us in this country would make a safe space for them to know, I have a neighbor who is deaf, I have a sister who is deaf, I have a brother, I have a mother, I have a sibling, I have somebody I know who is deaf and they need information. Be intentional in allowing them to get the right information would make a very big stride in the mental wellness of deaf people.
They are part of us, and therefore they should not feel they're left out. They should feel part of the society in which they live, and for their mental health, because that's another issue, they need to be understood by the rest of the population, so that sometimes when they are not understood, they tend to be quite aggressive because of that misunderstanding. And I would recommend that many people, as many as possible, to learn the language so that they can communicate with them.
Dolly Murigimbuvi for Hope TV.